You know, we've talked a lot about modern Plarail on this channel, but if I'm honest, I haven't really seen a lot of new Plarail stuff, at least in Thomas & Friends merch. I do know that 2022 marks the year of, I guess, lower quality. The fact you have to put your stickers on some of these engines is mind-boggling to me, but we're not going to talk about that today. But recently, my fiance did gift me with, I guess, my most recent piece of Plarail merch, and that is the James being chased by a bee set, or the new Plarail TS-14, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my, I guess, newest piece of merch. This came out in 2022 and is one of the newest renditions of James, I guess, but it's also not. You might recognize this James from the 5-car pack that they made that came with this same bee, but they decided to take away 4 of those cars and put it in a normal train pack that replaced Ryan. The original TS-14 was Ryan's skiff and I think a brake van, and they completely got rid of it for this thing. And I understand why some people don't like this model because of that, and the fact that it's also reused from a 5-car set, but I still haven't yet to see. I never had the 5-car set. I've never seen this thing in person. I'm trying to hold all reservations until that is done, I guess. There is something to be said about this box, though. I don't know if it's just me, but this just feels not as fun as the previous ones. It kind of feels like a Bachmann Thomas UK box. It's got this green backdrop, a realistic render of the engine here, and what's odd is James is smiling in this, and he's been stung by a bee. I don't think he'd be smiling in that scenario, nor do I think he ever did, but there it is. I had to double check, but the model itself does not have a smile, so the fact they put it on almost every render on the box is a bit curious, but there's that. They also didn't put James's tinder in the second window. Instead, they replaced that with the bee, and I assume the tinder is back here where you can't see it. And besides that, this box is typical but more boring, if that makes any sense. Here on the bottom, we can see a front-facing render and a clearer picture of the pack. We have on the back the battery diagram and a little diagram showing what the bee does, and the stinger should go up and down as it chases James along the tracks. We'll see how that works. And it looks like this James is, again, one of the newer variants where you just put the AA battery inside of the locomotive and the tinder is separable, and that should be the long and short of the box. Here we have another picture of the engine and the bee. I'll be sure to put better pictures on screen so you can actually take it in. I imagine this isn't doing that very well. There's another render here on the front side, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but Plarail boxes have this little tab that comes out, and if you're displaying this in a store, that makes that a lot easier. But if you're like me and put these on your wall, also a big help. And I guess that's really all there is to say about the box. It's turned down. It's kind of more mid compared to the previous renditions of Plarail boxes, but I guess you could say that about all of Plarail 2022, or we shall see. Haven't opened it yet. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it is. All right, let's see here. Let's get this bit open. And another thing that I found curious, and maybe I should wait until he's open to talk about this, this literally is just a reused James from that 5-car set, to the point where he even has a tinder that doesn't match this pack, or it looks like he doesn't from all the pictures on there. Maybe I'll be wrong. No, he has a tinder that doesn't make much sense. As you can see, he has butterflies, and again, that made sense in the 5-car pack, since I believe it was James pulling different zoo animals, but what do butterflies have to do with the bee episode? I don't. It's just kind of, they're being lazy. That long story short. And here he is in his little plastic prison. Looks like the bee is just separating the tinder from James. And here's a somewhat better look at that face. I know the refraction is not helping much, but let's go ahead and get him out of this. All right, let's get this tinder out of here. Here we have the bee, which, not gonna lie, is a little weird to see. And let's get this James out of here. All right, and that should complete the pack. And let's switch over to a bottom view. Welcome back to the model mat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's clear this area up a little bit and take a look at this 3-car pack. Now, I have to say, again, this James is kind of lazily done. It is reused from the 3-car pack, but for what it is kind of cute. Here you can see he has his little shocked face and the little red nose, and if anything, that is a nice introduction. They could have just used the normal smile, but they didn't, so I'll count my wins. It is still kind of weird to see the butterflies on the Tinder, though. I feel like this is a missed opportunity to just have a normal James being chased by a bee, and I feel like most consumers would have preferred that, but it is what it is. Now, I haven't talked about the new Plarail James much, and if I'm honest, it's pretty much in the same league as the 2012 or 2009 James, the Trackmaster variant that also had a detachable Tinder. It's pretty much, it's nice. It's exactly what you would have wanted back in the day. It probably doesn't perform as nice as an engine with a C-Battery Tinder. Personally, I think those ones can pull more and in some cases are faster, but who knows, maybe this mechanism will be different. When it comes to detail, I have to say it's definitely all there. The only thing this is missing is maybe a little bit of black paint here or on the back, and besides that, everything else is there. It's got a black chassis block. Thankfully, doesn't have a molded wheel here on the front. It still has that 060 configuration, which I know some people might critique, but personally, I prefer that over a molded wheel any day. And here again is the Tinder, which is pretty much a stock standard Tinder, but with these butterflies on the side. And these are not stickers or something that can just be easily removed. They are actually printed, kind of just like the 5 is. And again, that kind of stinks. If they were stickers, you could probably just pull them off. But, yeah, again, there's that. I'm going to try not to keep tripping on that same point. And here's another look at him all together. I have to say, this is a pretty nice James variant. If you have another James Tinder, very easily fixed. Or maybe if you have a customized James, just take the face off this, put it on that. I don't plan to do that with my customized James, but, yeah, there is that option if you wanted to. Personally, I'm planning on leaving this just as it is, maybe even putting in a new higher voltage motor to make the bee chase a little bit more funny. And speaking of the bee chase, let's go ahead and talk about this, since this is something I have personally yet to see at all in Plarail. Now, just because I have yet to personally see it does not mean this is new. I believe this has been out for a while, and for what it is kind of cute. It's a backwards facing bee. The front coupler is where the little stinger is, and he's looking backwards, I presume, you know, as he's chasing James. He's got these little antennas on the front. He's got the little stripes and such here, the little wings, which are painted in blue. Though I have to say it looks a little weird. There's nothing here on the front besides the antennas. The eyes are kind of on the side, and that leaves this very open front part, which does feel a little weird. But does the stinger work? Yes, it does. Actually, it moves a lot more than I thought it was going to. That's actually kind of cool. This is very appealing to my ADHD. I don't know if you could tell. It's very smooth with its movement. It goes at a pretty good pace. If the train's going fast, it looks like it will too. If you take it slow, it's got a very slow and easier movement. Pretty nice, simple mechanism for what it is. Again, just a little bit weird that they didn't put anything or the eyes here on the front, or hell, maybe you just could have even carried it like in a Sonic way, like to the front or so. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. For what it is, it's cute. It's a bee car. It is a bee wagon. It kind of looks like Birdie if he was painted up in the Busy Bee. I'm definitely overthinking it now. There you go. And here it all is together. And again, the bee does kind of face James as he's going and simulate a little bit of a chase, kind of like, I guess in the episode. I don't think James was ever chased by a bee, more just stung and then left the station, but it's a very cute idea. You know, I can't hate on it. It'll definitely be fun to see on the rails. And speaking of that, I've kind of accidentally destroyed them, so when you see them again, they'll be a little different, heads up. And realistically, if I had to give a rating to this James pack, I'd say it's a solid 7.5 out of 10, at least for me. You know, it's not really anything too grand. If you really want this James, I would say try to go for the 5-car pack, but again, this for me was personally a gift, so I don't want to knock it too much. In terms of replacing Ryan, I definitely don't think that was necessary. This could have just been a new one-off thing, kind of like the Monkey Thomas that they're doing. I'm not sure if that actually replaces any other Plarail pack either, but I know that this one, again, replaced Ryan, and that's why many people don't like it, and not gonna lie, that does stink. Ryan was a pretty solid pack. But for being a bunch of reused parts, it definitely is fun, and it It fits the name of the pack very well. It is James being chased by a bee, oddly with butterflies on his Tinder. They don't have that second part on the title because it'd be too long, but that's what I'm here for. I'm giving you the honest truth. I'll tell you what Plarail won't.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
Hey, that crawfish alive, don't do that. Hey, that crawfish alive. Hey, I get that crawfish out of there. Hey, get that crawfish out of there.